Okay, so Kara mentioned I'm from South Asia. So this is not only an event. So we are actually an organization. We release a number of software and hardware projects. And today I'm going to talk about how to attract and retain developers, contributors in your project through a number of incentives and methods that we use at the open event front end project. So open event front end is one of the many projects under Force Asia organization. A little bit about this open event front end. So this is a repository. It is a front end component of Event Yay, which is a bigger project. An online event management service that comes with a wide range of features like call for speakers, submission rating, ticketing, payment gateway, video integration with other open source projects like Big Blue Button, Jitsi, or your customized video service. We also integrated chat recently. This project started in 2016 because we want to use some open source solution to manage our own Force Asia annual summit. This is the event with 3,000 to 4,000 people per year. And of course, the project was led by some of the Force Asia members. Until today, we have 142 contributors on GitHub. 90% of our contributors are from India, and many of them are undergraduate students. I'm only talking about this particular open event project, not for the entire Force Asia, by the way. And the project has its own GitHub chat channel with 658 members. The license under Apache license, I mentioned this because I think that it also influenced the choice of contributors' decision when they make when they think of contribute to an open source project. Technology mostly written in Ember.js, of course JavaScript, and only and a few other program languages. So over the years, we continue to see new contributors joining the project. But what we find very difficult is to attract the new people in the first place, and also to keep the people, the senior developers, contributors that we have. As you know, at one point, people need to move on with their life, and these days even like more challenging. There are so many open source projects in the world, and I think that I remember the last statistic from GitHub, 200 million repositories or something. Yeah, and on top of that, so many tech companies started to embrace open source. They release a lot of open source projects, and of course, it's really competitive. The contributors out there, they want to contribute to big companies so they can get a chance to get a job with this and land a job in these companies in the future. So for independent projects like us and many other who did not get back, who not like backing or supported by a foundation or by an enterprise, is very challenging for us these days. So today I'm gonna share a little bit about what we have learned the past few years, how to keep our project sustain and continue to grow. I'm going to talk about 4 areas where we see incentives could be a mechanism to encourage people to stay and contribute to your project. The first is rewards and opportunities. The second is recognition. The third would be personal relationship. Fourth, development process. And I will go through them one by one. Rewards and opportunities. So when we talk about rewards, people think of financial rewards like cash prizes. I think it's really important these days, and it's even more important for people, for developers. Contributors come from like developing regions like India, Southeast Asia, Africa, and so on. Not because people only care about money, but because money is a mean for life. So you need to earn to survive. You don't. Many of the Asian countries do not have a social system where the government will take care of the citizens. So we always have to really work hard and support the life. And the same for many young students come out of university or college. They need to earn themselves for a living. Therefore, cash prizes is always an attraction to many people. So we offer cash prizes and pay internship through our like program like cultivate. I understand that many organizations, I think GitHub also have a similar program where you also give the scholarship and internship placement for students from India and many other places. We're doing a similar thing. It's not something new, but it's really important to attract like developer in the first place. So we do this code hit event almost throughout the year, and we give out prizes every 2 months for the people who got the most pull request most in the open event project. Another thing that we offer to people, and this is something that we believe is very useful, is a career opportunity, something like a career prospects. The contributors, when they start to contribute to the project, so we show them the future. So after you contribute for a while, you will get, you will win a prize. You can become a paid intern, and then later on move on to become a maintainer or to become a mentor. And then at one point, Phuc Asia also offer full-time opportunity to hire these contributors. Of course, we cannot hire all the contributors in the community, but our development model, and which I will share a little bit later, and the development process that prepare contributors for their future job market. So they will learn a lot and also improve their skill, improve their profile for the future. Opportunity for personal role, a lot of it's important that people always motivated when their pull request got merged quickly, so that they can also have their own personal profile always green on GitHub. This is the profile of our of the core maintainer and the lead project of this open event, Arif Chaman. Arif Chaman until April, the end of April this year, he was on the top 15 contributors from India. And you know, at the moment there are 5.8 GitHub users from India, and Arif was on the top. He was one of our best developers. Unfortunately, he passed away in April, but his work still stay with us. So here I'm showing now is the draft created by Arif, where he showed what kind of languages and technology that he have learned during his open source contribution journey. And he often told the people that when you work for an open source project, you can learn so much. There are so many like different type of problems that you can solve. Why, if you are working for a big company, normally you're only taking care of one component of one feature in the system. So there's a lot of learning opportunity with open source. To sum up, pricing rewards to attract people in the first place. And the second thing that's very important for many contributors is the career prospects, how people see they develop from being a contributor until to the future. The second thing that I want to mention here is recognition. So recognition is not only about the financial reward, but there's also many things that you can do very simple, but often we tend to forget. For instance, what I try to do is whenever there is a most pull request or an issue being closed, I try to comment on the issue, thank you to the contributors, and mention their name on the issue or the pull request. Another thing that we often do, besides to show appreciation on a personal level, we also try to publicize the contribution, give the community the chance to also recognize and appreciate individual contributors. I think that a lot of the things here, Chrissy also mentioned earlier in her talk. We share the achievement on our social media. We have project channels, we have GitHub, we have our newsletter, the blog, and also LinkedIn or Twitter. So we try to publish the updates regularly on this channel. We give the contributor, encourage them to present their work at the annual Force Asia Summit, and we also collect a list of open source events around the world and encourage people to apply to the conferences and talk about their work as well, and that makes them very happy. One other thing that's also very important for young developers and students is a certificate or reference letter that help them for their job seeking or higher education. Another recognition method is the earning right access. So the more you contribute, you need to contribute to a certain amount of pull requests, then you will earn the right access. So on the screen here, you see this is just the standard permission level of GitHub. And we also use this standard permission level to encourage people to contribute more to the project. Another thing that I find super powerful, which is to empower people, to give people more responsibilities. When people get more responsibilities, they become more engaged and more attached to the project. Some other responsibilities besides maintainer or mentor that we also introduce to our contributors are encourage them to take the role of a Scrum Master. So we do regular project call where people like come in and share what they would like to work on. We assign them to lead project meeting to facilitate meetings, review pull requests and suggest changes that also whenever have a chance to comment or to help the other to become better, they also get very motivated. Onboard new contributors. So we can continually receive messages on our channel asking how to contribute to Force Asia for open event, and we see a lot of like current contributors like try to answer and also help the new people on board them. Become a mentor mentioned earlier, to conduct trainings and workshops at university or at conferences, and to give them the responsibility to maintain the server or the core infrastructure of the project. So these responsibilities really push the motivation and keep people with the project. That's what we learn. The third area that I mentioned earlier as well, personal relationship. We like to work with the people that we like, right? People similar to us and people who can share the same idea and can talk or collaborate with. Something that we learned over the past few years, I mentioned here is more a little bit into it's steered toward the Indian community, because a lot of our contributors are from India. But 5.8 million Indian contributors, I believe that any project would have like at least one Indian contributor. So we try to understand the individual motivation, cultural and personal situation. So I give some example here. Do you know that there are over 2 million Muslims living in India? So why is this information important. So if you have a Muslim contributor, so it's really important to realize when is the best time to organize meeting. For instance, you not try to avoid their praying time, or if you want to organize a get together, go to a restaurant, you should avoid a restaurant that only offer pork, this kind of thing. So it's really important to understand this religion in order to how do you say, to structure the development of the project as well. We also try to understand the popular festival of India or of China or in other places, so that we can say like send greetings or send celebration with our contributors, and it's this way it also like build relationship and keep it closer to the contributors. Living condition in different regions. So many of the people, of the students in developing countries, they are living with their parents even after graduating from university, and some people don't even have their own room. So scheduling the time to meet, and we should not like always force people to turn on their camera, because it might not be so comfortable for some of the people. The weather is also important, because in some places it is so hot during the day and people can't concentrate. So it's better to communicate or work during the night, for instance. And one thing that I find very interesting, many universities around the globe allow students to submit a certificate of participant in a recognized international coding program, and to be exempted from their final projects and placement exam. So if they don't have to do their final projects and placement exam, they have more time to contribute to open source. So this is something that we as an organization also offer and try to collaborate more with university. Create environment where people can meet and connect. So before the pandemic, we invite our contributors to come to the Phuc Asia Summit, of course, like many other organizations. And we even organized something in India to get together different like contributors from around India, get them together for a week, work on the event project, hacking together, spend time together. It was a very great experience. We cannot do it now because of the pandemic, but we continue to host meetings online. The next thing that I want to talk about is development process. Development process is really important. As for Asia or at the Open Event Project, we try to adopt the modern development process, agile development or DevOps, as we want to provide an environment where our contributors can learn and can also adapt with the future workplace. We use, so we cannot, because people all work remotely on open source project in a distributed way. So we encourage doing Scrum via the mailing list. So like similar to face-to-face, people answer 3 questions. What did they do, what they plan to do, and what prevent them from achieving their goals. We use GitHub issue tracker, enable CI/CD. We configure issue templates. I think that is really useful for new for newbies who, like in the issue template, there's also a guide how to do a bug report, what kind of information people need to provide. I think that also encourage people to write like issue and report bugs. We encourage all the communication happens directly on the issue, so people always get the record of what is going on. A few other development practices, GitHub for chat. So unlike many open source projects, we do not use IRC GitHub because you can easily reference pull request or GitHub issue used for quick exchange and alignment. And we also introduce like this is 4 eyes principle, not 2. So like two pair of eyes where people, at least 2 people review a pull request. We try to encourage people to match one pull request with an issue. again, just to for documentation purpose, so people, the new joiner or other contributor can see what's going on. Break big issue or pull requests into multiple smaller ones. Yeah, and the choice of technology is of course very important. In the beginning, I mentioned that event and the open event front end is written in Ember.js. I think it's also difficult to get developers who are excited about Ember.js. So we plan to migrate to React.js, because we also look at the like different research in the market and see what are the technologies that people from the community prefer to. And of course, if we encourage people to get into the project if they find the technology that they like. Okay, so I think this is all the time that I have. You can find more information about the project on GitHub. If you want to support us, you can go to opencollective.com/open event, and below is also the information to connect with us on GitHub or on Twitter. Yes, so I hope that there is something that you might find useful in this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think you had a video that we're gonna play, if that's all right. Do you want to introduce that at all?
Yeah, so I think I cover everything and about the video. If you still have time, this is just about Arif Chaman, the person that I mentioned earlier, our core maintainer. And during his journey, you will also see a few points that I mentioned in the presentation as well.
Great, thank you. So folks, we're gonna watch the first 3 minutes of this video.